Okay, hi and welcome to everyone to class. Hi to Dickerson. I know that you have an English speaking event very soon, so you're online with us because you can't be in class. Franco, Yaneth, and Valeria.
Hello.
Hey, I hope you guys are well and enjoying the very summery day that we have. So, is today like perfectly hot, or is it way too hot? I know for some people, if you work outside, it would have been a very, very hot day. But other than that, it's a beautiful summer day. So let's get into learning our English together on this beautiful day. So if you remember, we were looking at during the last lesson the alphabet. So really making sure that we can pronounce each and every single letter very clearly, especially the two letters that people get confused with. So the N and the M, and especially the vowels, the A, E, I, O, U. So you should be able to say them very clearly and without thinking. So it should be, they were the two biggest, I think, the two biggest things that I see a lot of learners make a mistake with. So we also looked at expressions for when we meet people for the first time. So strangers, when you encounter someone, that means when you meet someone, there's certain expressions that we use, and we want to really think about the situation. Is it an informal, casual conversation, or is it a formal conversation? So we also have different ways if it's casual or if it's formal. Depends where we're at. If it's at university, at work, at a job interview, on the bus stop, in the markets. So we must really think about that. And we looked at expressions, what's common to say in Australia. So that was all last lesson. Now, what are we doing today? We're going to be continuing a little bit of the same thing that we've been doing throughout the week, because we know that this week our lesson unit was called People, and it was all about meeting people, introducing ourselves, and introducing other people, being able to give information about ourselves and other people. So we're going to be looking more into introducing ourselves, and also looking at when we write, we've got these words that we can connect one part of a sentence to another. And it's words like and but. So we're going to make sure that we know exactly the difference between the words and but. Okay, so let's get into our lesson. So we are here. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. So I can see that we have a personal description. That means just some information about Matt and Valerie. If you remember, we heard an audio last lesson, and they were university students, first time in their first year. Now, one thing I noticed in Franco's writing is that he created a conversation with two university students, and he used the American term freshman, or I don't know what other terms American have. That's American. We don't say that in Australia. We say, hi, this is my first year at university. I'm a first year uni student. That's how we say it in English, in Australia, I mean. So these two people, they are first time or they're first year university students. They're new university students. So their first name. So this guy is Matt. And obviously, Valerie is her first name. Surname, Lawrence and Moreau. Their job or their occupation, that means the same thing. Let's see, Matt is, you could just say a university student. And Valerie is a university student. That's all we know. Their home country, so where are they from originally? Where is their birth country, or where were they born? Matt is from England. Valerie is from New Caledonia. And what languages do they speak? So we know Matt speaks English, and Valerie actually speaks 3 languages. She speaks English, French, and Spanish. And what's some information about their family? Matt he's single, because that's a part of the family, because if you're married, that's your family. So he's single, and he has 2 brothers. Valerie, we don't know. It doesn't tell us. So let's read it. This is what we have. So Matt Lawrence. Hi, my name is Matt and I'm a student. I'm from England, but I study at a university in the USA. I'm single and I have 2 brothers. Valerie. Hello, I'm Valerie Moreau and I'm from New Caledonia. It's a beautiful island in the Pacific Ocean. We speak French in New Caledonia, but I also speak English and Spanish. Okay, so we wrote about ourselves as well. If you remember, I had the Facebook page where we said, welcome, say hi, let's get to know each other. So lots of practices here. The recent ones, I'll just read the ones from Edward. Edward wrote, actually, would you like to read it, Edward? Make sure you read my one that I corrected. So just this one. I'm here to learn English. Yes, perfect. So that was that. Franco, would you like to read yours? Make sure you read the corrected one.
Yes, give me a sec.
You can see it on my screen as well if you want.
I got it. Hello guys, my name is Franco. I'm 31 years old and I am from Argentina. I've been in Adelaide for 2 months. I'm enjoying it here so much.
So just really quickly, that S at the end of your nouns, you have to make sure you push it a lot stronger. It should sound like a Z. So I've been in Adelaide for 2 months. I'm enjoying it. So you got to make sure these little short words that we push it or I don't hear it. It sounded like you said, I'm enjoying here so much because you didn't put enough push into that little small word it. So I'm enjoying it here so much. That's what it should sound like. Okay, if you want, you can read those last 2 sentences again.
I'm enjoying it here so much. It's beautiful here and I get surprised each day a little more by its beauty. I hope you are enjoying it here as well. Have a good one.
Yes, perfect. Have a good one. So I like that. Have a good one. Enjoy. It's like saying, see you guys around. Catch up later. Perfect. Fo, would you like to read yours?
Hi everybody, I'm Bob. I'm 21 years old. I'm Vietnamese. I have been in Adelaide, staying here for 2 months. 2 months. I have been
Studying?
in English at Adelaide,
College? Since?
for my
Hobbies?
like foodie,
Fruits?
Vietnam food.
And Vietnamese food. Good. Perfect. Sebastian, would you like to read yours? Yours, I think, is Sebastian. Sorry, let me just see where Sebastian is. Not this one, no? Not that one. Sebastian. Okay, yes. Okay, Sebastian. Now, you wrote yours a long time ago when you started, and then we added to it, so that was nice. Okay, would you like to read your introduction, personal information about yourself?
Hello, this is Sebastian Miguel. I am from Colombia. I am 29 years old.
Years old?
Years old. I am a cultural engineer. We living in for 3 weeks. I am now in a new place in Berlin. Then also working in farm in Adelaide.
Yes, on a farm in Adelaide, in the Adelaide Hills. Yes, perfect. And we also have lots of others, so you can read everyone else's. Now, I can't see Valeria, so make sure you come in and write a description for yourself, and also Yana. So I don't know if you have Facebook, but if you don't, that's okay. But if you do, make sure you come in and write a description. And as we know, also Eloise doesn't have Facebook, but you did write yours, you remember? Yep, you want to read it again?
I am Eloise. I'm from Brazil. I am married. I am 30 years old. And I live in Adelaide for 7 months.
I have been living in Adelaide, so we got to make sure we use that. I have been living.
I have been living in Adelaide for 7 months.
For 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
I have one brother.
Yeah.
I'm learning English. Yeah. I am cleaner in the moment.
At the moment, I'm a cleaner at the moment. At the moment. You're right, that I know.
I like swimming.
Yeah, and I like swimming. Yeah, I might put and I like swimming because it's too many short sentences. So we can use and I like swimming. Okay, good. That was personal description, personal information. Personal means like it's for you, no one else. It's your information, it's your details. So now we know how to talk about ourselves. And remember, we used the verb to be. A lot of it was I am. You know, I am from Brazil. I am 30 years old. I am a student. I am learning English. So using the verb to be allows us to talk about ourselves, our job, our location. We can add adjectives, you know, I'm really excited. Or as Franco said, you know, I'm always surprised by the beauty of Adelaide. So that's how we use the verb to be. Okay, so I wanted to talk about now sentences. When we write sentences, we have these 2 words, and but. They're called conjunctions. They just allow us to connect one part of a sentence with another because we don't want to put a full stop. We just want to add more information. We want to talk about one topic, but we just want to add more information. Or maybe we want to say something, but we want to say, but something, something. So, but means I said something, but then I want to kind of change something. So if we look at these examples, so in our textbook, it had, I live in Spain, but I'm from Argentina. I'm 21 and my sister is 22. The next sentence says, I'm British. Hindi is my first language. Now that's 2 different sentences. I'm British, full stop. Hindi is my first language. But we can use but here. Because it's saying I'm British, which means, you know, you would think that if someone is British, they speak English. But he's trying to say, just because I was born there doesn't mean that that was my first language, because his background is from India. So he's saying, I'm British, but I'm not from British family. He's saying, but Hindi is my first language. So can you see that we must say but here? He's kind of changing. He wants you to understand some information that's different, to not just I'm British, but. The next one says he's from Germany. He works in Russia. We can use but here. So he's from Germany, but he's not there at the moment because he works in Russia. So that's why we need to say but. Because yes, he is from Germany, but he's not there. He's in Russia. My friend is 30. He's single. Now, I haven't changed the information. I want to add more information about the subject, my friend. So I say and. My friend is 30 and he's single and he's living in Adelaide and he loves life and likes to swim. So when I want to add more information, I say and. I live in Spain. I work in France. We should say but here. So I live in Spain. Yes, that's true. But I don't live there. Because when you're saying but, you're making this one a negative. But I don't live there. I work in France. Well, I don't work there. I work in France. The next one, she's a student. She's at Oxford University. Just sounds like I'm continuing to give more information. So instead of putting a full stop and making two short sentences like what you did at the end of you can just say and, I live in Adelaide and I like swimming. So it's just adding more information. It allows us not to make, short sentences. We can kind of make it a little longer. My family is in the countryside. I'm in the city. This sounds like but. My family is in the countryside. Yes, that's where they live, but I don't live there. I live in the countryside. So can you see why we need to say but? Okay, so we did our own personal descriptions. Let's have a look at some sentences that a lot of other students wrote. So I live in Sydney, but I wished I lived in Adelaide. Maybe this one should be the other way around because maybe somebody is here now. So I think I should change that to just say I live in Adelaide, but I wish I lived in Sydney. I like to eat rice and beans. So I can see that someone wants to add more information. I like rice, chicken, beans, and whatever. I like to eat hot dogs and pasta. I speak Spanish perfectly, but I want to speak English just as perfect. I like pasta and pizza. So we can see that we're just adding to the same action. We're just using one action, but we don't want to say, I like pasta, I like pizza, I like, so it's too repeating too much the same verb. If you have one verb, one action, and you can use it to talk about many things that you like. I like pasta, comma, pizza, comma, chicken, comma, steak, comma, and whatever could be your last one. I like to play Euro Truck and football. I think that must be a game. I have a daughter, but I don't live with her. So can you see how she used but? I don't live with her. She made a positive sentence and then she made a negative sentence. I like watching sunsets and eating hot chips. I like fruits, but I don't like vegetables. I like to eat, but I don't like putting on weight. I like to run and swim every day. So again, the same verb, like, so they've connected two different nouns to the same verb. I'm here to study, but I have to work a lot. That's a good sentence with but. I'm here to study, but I have to work a lot. I like my mother and my mother-in-law. So I'm just adding information. I like my mother, my father, my sister, and my mother-in-law. So same action. I want to travel overseas to work, but I don't have enough money to do that. I have 4 dogs and 2 cats at home. I like to drive my car and bike on long trips. I like to have pets, but I don't have any at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment just to write 2 sentences, one with and one with but. So 2 different sentences, similar to these ones. Okay, we'll come back and then we'll check them. Okay, so Franco's sentences were absolutely perfect. So you had, I would like to go to Thailand and the Philippines. So we just, I think that's how we spell it. And the Philippines this year. Perfect. I like the gym, but I don't have time to go. I would like to go to the gym again. I would like, because it's not just that you like the gym, but you would like to go, but you don't have time. So I would like to go to the gym, but I don't have time. I think that's a bit more sharper sentences. So good, we used and then we had another sentence with but. He's saying, I want to go to the gym, but I don't have time. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else who had sentences? You have a sentence? Yeah.
I like to cook beef and pasta.
I like to cook beef and pasta. Perfect. Yep. So you added more information, one action, and you added 2 different nouns to it. So yeah. And next sentence?
I live in Ireland, but I live in Holland.
I live in Adelaide, but
Live in live. This no, I like.
yeah.
I like.
I live in Adelaide, but I would like to live in Holland.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. So I'll just write that sentence here. So I live in Adelaide, but I would prefer, maybe prefer is a better one, but I would prefer to live in Holland. Is that right? Like this? Yeah. Good sentence. So very similar. I live in Adelaide, but I wish I lived in Sydney. Yeah, I'll put your one here. I live in Adelaide, but I would prefer to live in Holland. Good. Fo, what are your sentences? Yes? Yeah, I like to play football and listen to music. Good. So one action and you're adding lots of activities to that one action of I like. I like to play football and to listen to music. Your but. I like to eat salad. but. But there's no potato in salad. So you must say but has to do with what you said before, the salad. So for example, I like to eat salad, but I don't like tomatoes in my salad. So it has to be connected. So I like to eat salads, but I don't like to but I don't like tomatoes in my salads. So it has to be connected or whatever. This could be, but I don't like cucumbers. I don't like lettuce. I don't like whatever else they put in salads. So it must still be a little bit connected, but good. Okay, Edward, what's your sentences? I like to go to the beach and walk there. Yeah, I like to go to the beach to swim and walk there. I might have to be clear about what action I'm doing at the beach. So I like to go to the beach to swim and to walk. Yep. There. Yep. And your butt. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. I like Brazilian food, but I don't like Chinese food. Yep. Good. Thank you. Okay, Eloise.
I like banana bread, but I don't like bananas.
Yes, that's a very good sentence because it's connected. You like banana bread, but it's funny because you don't like bananas by itself. You can say, but I don't like bananas on their own. Yeah, perfect.
She's like music and drinks
Yeah, she likes music
and
and drinking. Maybe she likes to listen to music and to drink. Yep, so she likes to listen to music and to drink. I would like to go to Colombia next year. I would like to see my mother. Now, I don't see and or but. You must use the sentence. So you could say, I would like to go to Colombia next year and see my mother. So that's a better sentence. I would like to go to Colombia next year and see my mother. So you're using one action, like, with two different things that you're doing. Go to Colombia, see my mother. Good. Anyone else? Well, online, do you have a but or and? Yaneth, one more sentence with the word but. So we're practicing using the word and in a sentence and the word but in a sentence. Okay, good. So that gives us also these two words. So now we know how to connect, more like we're not just putting a full stop after a short sentence. We can continue by saying and, or we can say but because we're changing what we said before. Good. So now let's get into talking about World Party. So we can see here the Chinese New Year in Singapore. So as we know, we just had the Chinese New Year in Australia. I think it was last weekend or the weekend before. So this is the Chinese New Year in Singapore. So remember we used the word in. It's a preposition. It just means like it's one of these short words, that show us location. We talked about we use in when we talk about a city, a countryside, or if your work, I work in teaching. I work in the cleaning business. My family work in the coffee farm business. So we could see the Chinese New Year. Let's have a look at some key vocab. we're looking at measurements. So we know in the USA, they use feet and miles. And in Australia and all British colonies, we say centimetres and kilometres. So for example, when you're talking about your height, we say I am 160 centimetres. But in America, they would say, because they use feet, sorry, they use inch, they use, I think, yeah, feet and inches. They would say that they are, so 5'3". If I'm 160 centimeters, that's centimeters is what we use. In England, sorry, in the USA, they use inches. 5 foot, they use foot and inches. 5'3" inches. So it's just very different. So we go with centimeters. And miles, we say kilometers. So how far? This is about height. When we're talking about how far one place is to another, we say kilometers. For example, the area Burnside is how many kilometers from the city? So for example, Burnside is 23 kilometers from the city. So when we're talking about distance, like how far a place is, we say kilometers. Now in the USA, that 23 kilometers to miles, they would say 14 miles. So it's just a different type of measurement. They say 14 miles, we say 23 kilometers. To find the difference, you just put 2. You know, how, you know, what is 23 kilometers in miles? Okay, so just know that we use centimeters and kilometers. But let's have a look at the conversion. So 1 foot is equal to 30 centimeters. Again, we use centimeters. America uses foot. What about 3 square meters? Sorry, 3 square feet. Now you can just use Google and convert because, yeah. So I found out that 3 square feet is 0.27 square meters. So 2E. So 2E. Okay, all you do is just say how much is 3 square foot in square meters. 1 mile. So again, Americans say 1 mile. We would say that equals to 1.6 kilometers. So 3D. So if someone in the US says, I can run 1 mile every day. So that means it's the same for us to say, I can run 1.6 kilometers every day. 500 miles is the same as 800 kilometers. 1,500 miles is the same as saying 2,400 kilometers. Okay. Okay, so why did we talk about those measurements? Because if you remember earlier in the chapter, you remember when we talked about percentage and numbers, if you remember a few lessons ago? So let's watch a video and let's hear for those numbers, those big numbers, talking about thousands. And then the measurements as well for distance, square feet, square miles, square, yeah. Okay, so let's watch the video and answer questions 3 and then we'll watch it again and answer questions 4.
There are 7 billion people in the world. But how big is 7 billion?
One, two, three, 4.
Don't count from 1 to 7 billion. It takes 200 years. There are 7 billion stars. But from Earth, you can see 1,000 at night, not billions. Walk around the Earth 133 times, and that's 7 billion steps. People send 7 billion texts every 30 hours in the USA. That's 65,000 texts every second. And what about a party with 7 billion people? Everyone can come. But where on earth is there a place for a world party? Let's go and take a look. Actually, a place for 7 billion people isn't very big compared to the Earth. One person needs about 3 square feet. But it's a party, so everyone needs about 6 square feet. So for everyone in the world, that's about 42 billion square feet, or 1,500 square miles. So, where is a good place for this party? The Juneau ice field in Alaska is the correct size, but it's a bit cold. Or there's the state of Rhode Island. It's 1,500 square miles. What about French Polynesia? Its islands are beautiful, and they are about 1,500 square miles. Oh, and for a photograph of 7 billion people with everyone next to each other, we need an area of 500 square miles. Yes, 7 billion people in 500 square miles. Los Angeles is 500 square miles, so we can take the photograph there. Here comes the photographer in a helicopter. Smile!
Okay, we'll answer some of these questions. So don't worry if you didn't get them, because you will watch it again to answer question 4. So it says here, we'll go with the first one. The number of years to count from 1 to 7 billion. How long does it take? So how long does it take to count? So in the video, we would have heard that it takes 200. It takes 200 years to count from 1 to 7 billion. What are the number of stars you can see at night? What's the number of stars? We can see 1,000. 1,000 stars at night. What is the number of times around the Earth with 7 billion steps? You should have heard 133. And the number of text messages in the USA every second, how many text messages are being sent every second? $133. Sorry, 65,000. 65,000. And the area for one person at a party, the space, the area. Number 6, 6 square feet. The area for 7 billion people at a party, 1,500 square miles. The area for 7 billion people in a photo, 50 square miles. Okay, so we have this story. Sophia says, Jack, I don't know how long we've been here, but it feels like we've been trapped here forever. Jack says, I know, Sophia, but we have to keep hope alive. We say, but we have to keep our hopes alive. But we have to keep our hopes alive. That means we have to keep, we have to stay positive. We have to keep our hopes alive. We'll find a way out of here. Sophia says, I know we should stay positive, but it's getting tough. Food is running out, and we haven't seen any sign of rescue. I like that. Jack says, we'll figure it out, Sophia. We have to get creative. I wouldn't say we have to get creative. We say we have to think of a plan, or we have to use our minds is another way to say we have to use our minds to think of a way out. We've already built a shelter and found water. Let's focus on catching more fish and maybe try building a raft. Good. You're right, Jack. We need to work together to survive. I would say we need to work together if we're going to survive. So that's like if. We need to work together. It depends. If we're going to survive, it depends on us working together. So we need to work together if we're going to survive. Thank you for being here with me in this situation. He's not there by choice. So usually we say to someone, thank you for being here, when they have a choice. They can be here or they cannot. But it sounds like you're both trapped. You don't have an option but to be here. So I wouldn't say thank you for being here with me. I would say more like, I'm glad. Again, I'm making it a little bit less casual. I'm glad you're here. You know, maybe something like that. Like, I'm glad you're here. Or I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you're here is good. No problem, Sophia. Again, very formal, no problem. I don't know if these are close friends. It sounds a bit formal, no problem. I would say more like, don't worry. You know, like you're trying to reassure the person, make them feel that it's okay. So don't worry, Sophia. Don't worry, Sophia. We're in this together. Let's stay strong and keep trying. Who knows what the future holds? It sounds like you're talking in general about your future. We don't really say that. It sounds like you're talking about in general. So I would say more like, I mean, you know, who knows what will happen? Who knows what will happen? Or you can say, who knows? You know, we might get saved any second. Who knows? A miracle might happen. I might say, who knows? A miracle might happen. That means like something amazing by chance, you know, there's going to be people that rescue us. A miracle might happen. You're right, Jack. Let's face each challenge together. Again, it's very formal. It doesn't sound like a very casual conversation. So you're right, Jack. I might take that off. With your sea experience and my determination, I'm sure we can overcome this. Very formal. So you're right, Jack. I know you have experience with being at sea, and and with my determination, I'm sure we'll be okay. See, it's a little bit, we're making it now less formal. I'm sure we'll be okay. So again, less formal, it's more casual conversation. Jack then says, then it's a deal, partner. Then it's a deal, partner. Sounds very formal. So again, You can say something more less casual, like, see, that's the right attitude. So you can say something like that. That's the right attitude. Or we say, as an English saying, oh, that's the spirit. So it just means that's the right attitude. Let's show this island who's boss. Yeah, let's show this island who's boss. I think that's perfect. Okay, so remember, we are creating a conversation. We went into groups and we're writing a story. So you were given a story and you had to create whatever story that out of that. So first team, it's called a role play because we're like playing a story, showing a story. So we've got Franco, Fo, and Eloise. Don't forget to act. Don't forget to do, pronouncing your lines. Okay, let's have a watch.
Look, everybody, the pyramids.
Yeah, wow. I can't believe we are here. They are bigger than what imagined.
Then what I imagine.
Than what I imagined. The one I imagined. Imagine.
Yeah.
Guys, would you like to get in?
Yeah, I would love to see what's inside. What do you think, Fong?
Sure, let's go.
Be careful, guys. I heard that some people went in and come out cursed.
I don't believe it. Let's go and see the tombs of the kings.
Okay, well, Fong, do you have a shovel?
I'll go see. I have one.
Perfect. Let's go.
What do you reckon will fit inside? Gold?
Yeah, I reckon. Gold and ancient ornaments.
Yeah, that's right. Go
Treasures.
dress them.
Come on then. Let's see what we can find.
Pronunciation. I know I made a bit of so I think Franco already saw the mistake. It's I heard that some people went in and came out cursed. So cursed means like, when it's an old belief that, something bad is going to happen to you. And I love that Eloise said, I don't believe it. No, that's not true. Let's go. And I think I made a mistake here. So come on then, what do you reckon we'll find inside? Gold? Yeah, I reckon, should have taken off that comma. I reckon gold and ancient ornaments. Okay, good. So that was a good conversation. Okay, we have Edward and Sophia, yes. So make sure you put on the girl voice if your character is a female. We want us to get the best points in acting. You need to act it, use your hands, expressions. And if there's a female, you must put a female voice. Okay, Edward's team and Sebastian. Now they're stuck on an island. So they're by themselves. There's no one around. They don't know how to, something happened. We don't know. Let's see what happens in their story.
Yeah, I don't know how long. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how long we've been here, but it feels like we've been trapped here forever.
I know the feeling, but we have to keep our hopes alive.
will keep away all of it. I know. I I know we should stay positive, but it's getting dark, dark, dark falls, running out, and we haven't seen any sign or rescue,
Rescue.
rescue,
Rescue.
rescue, rescue,
Rescue.
rescue. We will figure it out.
Feel, so you need to read it the way it's written. We'll figure it out.
We will fi- we'll figure it out. Sophia, we have choose our minds to think of a way out. We already built a shelter and found one. Let's focus on catching more fish and maybe building homes. Maybe try building a hut. Hut. You're right. Yeah, we need to work together. If we're going to survive, right? I'm glad you're here.
Can make sure. I'm glad you're here.
Glad you're here. Don't worry, Sophie.
Where?
Where it is together.
Yes.
Where it is together. Let's stay strong and keep trying. Who knows a miracle might happen.
Yes. Who knows? And then we stop. And who knows?
A miracle
Maybe
might-
one day we'll be lucky. Because maybe so that's how the sound and how we speak.
You're right, yeah. I know you had experience. With
Yeah, with
with being see
see.
with my determination and sure will be okay. See, that's the right approach. Let's show this island who is the boss. Who is
Yeah.
boss? Who's boss?
Yes. Yeah, I like that it's they're both encouraging each other, you know, that don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Plastic.
Yes, I know, not like faux. So that's good. Good conversation. Two people trying to survive and they're just keeping their hopes alive. So that was a good saying there. I think we had that. We're trying to keep our hopes alive and stay strong. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. We'll work together. So that's how we speak when we reassure someone. Reassure means like we're showing them that everything is going to be okay. Don't worry. Okay, good. So that's all we had for today. So yes, see you all next lesson. Next lesson, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be looking at possessions. So that means like things that we own, that are ours, objects, you know, things, something that's mine, my phone, my tablet, my car, my house. And we're going to be using the verb have. So when we say I have a house, I have a dog, I have a cat. So that's what we're going to be doing next lesson. So until then, see you then. Franco, have a great night. Are you coming tomorrow to the excursion? Yes, so no class tomorrow. No class. We're going to meet at the Fringe Festival. Yeah, Franco?
In the botanic
Yes, across the road from the Botanic Gardens. So in front of it. Yeah, you have the location. Check the email. 5:30. So Franco, I don't know if if you're still here. But yes, see you tomorrow, and I hope you do come to the excursion. Okay, so see you next lesson.